Hey peeps, it's Larissa Lee here, nutrition and detox guru for you, the busy driven woman who is ready to gain her healthy rocking bod. So what is going on, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome to, I guess it's the second day technically of the week, right? Sunday's the first day. And as I always say, if you're hopping on, say what is up, say hello, like give me a greeting. Like I want to talk to you guys and have a convo here, as I say all the time. Now, today I'm sitting in my living room and not my kitchen, so I have like this bright light on me. So, pardon me if I get all close and personal on the camera because I really can't see. I can't even see how many people are on here right now. I can't really see. Oh my gosh, I can't really see anything because this bright light is shining in my eye. I wonder, let's see. I'm going to try to move it back a little bit. Let's see if that's better. If that gives me any type of, no, I still can't see. So, alright guys, like I said before, if you're hopping on, say hello. Tonight we are talking about long-term wins versus short-term losses. And really in the grand scheme of things, we're talking about how to stay consistent with that healthy lifestyle so you can actually reach your goals of the weight loss you want and the energy levels that you want. Hey Nikki, how are you? So I talked about this concept in a grand use or a greater I guess there's a greater concept last night in the Whole Food Total Body Cleanse, so I'm just gonna like condense it down tonight to get straight to the point. And again guys, sorry if I'm all up in the camera, like I can't really see like what's going on. So hey. So the main concept that we need to grasp when focusing and trying to stay consistent, right, and building that health, wellness, and fitness mindset so we can reach our goals is to understand the concept of focusing on long-term wins for short-term losses. Now, what is the difference between that anyway? What is a long-term win? Hey Erica, how are you doing tonight? What is up? Guys, if you're hopping on, say hello. I love saying hello to you guys and knowing who's on so we can have a combo here. So, focusing on the long-term win. What is a long-term win? That is your ultimate goal. Like, what is the reason why you want to eat better? What is the reason why you want to go to the gym? Because you have a weight loss goal, right, of a specific number, or you want to have more energy, or you just want to have the mental clarity and the vitality that you can move through life each and every day, because it feels amazing to be feeding your body with the right food and going to the gym and just feeling like that endorphin rush is crazy, right? But we need to also understand that a weight loss goal is honestly just a number. That's all it is. We need to really understand what is our ultimate goal. What is the win that we are really searching for? Because nobody wants to just hit a weight loss goal for no reason. Nobody wants to have the energy for no reason, right? We want to have this for a certain reason. Like, we might want to hit a weight loss goal because we want to fit into some clothes that we haven't fit into for a while. We want to have more confidence. We want to have more energy. We want to have a better relationship with our spouse. Or, like, what does that confidence get you? What does that relationship get you once you have hit that weight loss goal? We have to focus deeper and understand, like, how our life changes once we hit that weight loss goal, opposed to just focusing on a number. Because focusing on a number sometimes doesn't get us to that long-term vision. We have to have an actual vision for our life, for why we want to hit that goal, why we want to have the energy. Do we need to have more energy to play with our kids? Do we need to have more energy to build our business, right? Build our career, right? Be like present in life and still hang out with the girls. Like, why do you want these things, right? And that is the long-term win that you need to always have in your mind when moving through life, because this is how you stay consistent on your healthy lifestyle track. Now, people often get distracted by the short-term losses. And unfortunately, short-term losses come into play when people give in to instant gratification, right? Instant gratification is all around us. We are conditioned, right, in our society to get things when we want them, how we want them, with text messaging, with emails, with social media. Me right now, like, just coming at you like this, like instantly, like crazy, right? Also, the instant meals in the microwave, the fast food restaurants, like, guys, like, we are so programmed to get stuff right now that we have lost the concept of actual hard work, sustainability, and focusing on a long-term plan. And it's a shame because it sabotages people's goals, because people want what they want right now and they're not worried about, like, the consequences later. So what does instant gratification look like? It looks like not going to the gym when you know you need to go to the gym, right? It looks like giving in to, cake all the time, or cookies all the time, or chips all the time. Now, okay, guys, like there are instances when you just have to have cake, right? There are times when you just need to have chips, like you have to, or a brownie. Like what? You can't get rid of brownies. But you also can't be eating those things all the time, right? And when you give into instant gratification, you're giving into things all the time that is ultimately sabotaging your long-term win, right? If you are giving into something, if you are doing something that doesn't align with your goal, like it's not helping you to your goal, all you're doing is taking setbacks, because there's no action in your life that's making you stay on the even playing field. Either you're working towards something or you're like sabotaging it. There's like no in between, right? So when people focus on short-term losses, like, okay, so I gave into the instant gratification, of having those chips. That's fine, eat the chips. Like, it's okay, because it's not the chips every now and then, but it's the people who say, you know what, I ate this bag of chips today, oh my gosh, I freaking suck. So what I'm going to do now, like, I just wasted my whole diet, like, I just wasted all this work, so you know what, I'm just going to count this day off as a loss and just end up eating however I want, not go to the gym and do whatever, right? And I'm going to start over again tomorrow. Matter of fact, I might even start over again on Monday, give myself a break, because, I sabotaged it for today, and today is over. No, guys, do not let, hey Pam, how are you? If you guys are hopping on, say hello. Do not let a loss like that take you from the wrong site. Like, guys, we're going to have losses, right? We fail, like, especially when starting a new activity. You will fail. Winners failed way more times than they won in the beginning of whatever they were trying, right? And winners still lose, right? Nobody's going to win 100% of the time, but it's the winners, right? It's the people who stay consistent with their healthy lifestyle. It's the people who hit their weight loss goal. It's the people who continue to have the energy and continue to stay consistent that push through those losses, right? Because if you get stopped by a loss, hey Lorianne, if you get stopped by a loss, guys, you will not win. You will never win, right? You have to push through those losses. And again, tonight I wrote notes because sometimes I just need to know what I'm saying, because sometimes I get too excited and forget. So, people who throw in the towel due to short-term loss always fail. You have to play the long-term game, because creating a healthy lifestyle, right, staying consistent, right, doesn't come as a sprint, right? Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and so is the same thing with your healthy lifestyle, guys. Like, honestly, you may never get to your goal, right? But you always need to have a goal that's way ahead of you, that you're always attaining, right? And when you sprint to something, when you try to get to something really fast, first of all, you don't have time to build sustainable habits in the meantime, right? You don't have time to enjoy the ride. You also, like, don't have sustainable, how can I say this? You're unable to sustain the results that you get because you did it in a quick way, right? Change doesn't take time, was what I was going to say, but results and staying consistent will take time, right? You have to stay consistent and focus on pushing through. Sorry guys, text message there. So, since I brought in change, that change doesn't take time, people always say, like, you know what, I'm changing, I'm trying, I'm hoping, change, just let me change. Change takes time, but in reality, change takes no time, right? When you want to change something, all you have to do is make a decision. Guys, if you're hopping on, say hello. All you have to do is make a decision, and in that moment of that decision, you decide to do something and you stick with it. It's the same thing as deciding to take a position at a company, right? You applied for a job, you got the job, you said yes to the job. You decided to take that job. The change of jobs didn't necessarily take so much time. What took time was the fact that getting to that point takes time, but it doesn't take time to make a decision. So you take the position at your job, right? You have to be there at 7 a.m. every morning, right? So what do? You're there at 7 a.m. every morning, right? Do you want to wake up at 5 a.m. to get ready for work, to be there at 7 a.m. every morning? No. When I wake up and I have to go to work, do I want to wake up at 5 a.m.? Heck no, I don't. I'd rather sleep in. But guess what? I gotta go to work because I got bills to pay. I got coworkers that are counting on me. I have a manager that's counting on me. I have a mortgage. I have a husband, right? People have families they gotta take care of. So you can't just wake up and say no to work, right? Just like you shouldn't be able to wake up and say, no, I'm not going to the gym, right? Or no, like, I don't feel like eating like this today. Like, you have to have the same mindset going into your job as you do with a non-negotiable goal, because it's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable, all right? All right, so also with this concept of change, you have to understand, like, your mind and your psyche has a certain vision about you. Hey, Zena, what's up? Hey, Jacqueline. So, your mind has a certain vision about you. Like, you have a story about yourself. So the way you grew up, the things that your parents have said to you, whether they're good or bad, the things that your friends say about you, how people respond to you, your actions in life, you yourself have this vision of who you are, your ego. This is yourself. Like, this is who you are. This is how you view yourself, right? And anytime you try to go outside of that vision that you think you are, your brain is going to be like, hold up, wait a minute, that's not you. What are you doing? Like, step back into your comfort zone, because this is who you are. You're not this person that's trying to do these things. You don't do that, right? Your brain will do everything it can to make sure that you withstand the way you feel about yourself, and your actions reaffirm that. So when you start to take actions that are outside of you, that are different from you, it feels uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable, guys. But guess what? You have to power through the change, right? And even when your mind sits there and says, you know what? Don't do that. You can't do this, right? It takes 3 to 5 seconds for your brain to talk you out of doing something. So we must just take action even when our brain says no, because your brain will catch up with the action, right? You just have to take action when you think about it, because again, your brain will talk you out of it, because it's like, I don't know who this person is, and this person isn't you. You need to step back in line, because unfortunately, our brain can be our best friend, but can also be our worst enemy. And our brain was seriously just made to protect us, right? To keep us alive. So it's always scanning things in our environment to make sure that we are safe, right? And sometimes the things that it talks us out of, because it's fearful, it's trying to keep us safe, aren't necessarily life-threatening, right? They're just stretches outside of ourselves, right? That cause us to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm scared because this is new for me, I don't know, right? But no, guys, we have to push through and take action every time, because your brain will try to talk you out of something new every single time. So, with this concept of trying and hoping, like I talked about with change, because people are like, change takes time, and I'm trying and I'm hoping, but guys, we cannot try or hope with something, right? We actually have to do. Because when we sit there and say, I'm going to try this, or I'm going to hope this happens, you're relinquishing your power to something outside of you. When in reality, you have the power, right? You have to take it back and be like, okay, like, I'm not going to necessarily try, I'm not going to hope, but I'm going to find a way to make this happen, because I can make it happen, and not make excuses, right? Excuses are the death of our long-term vision. Excuses are the death of that. And our excuses can be valid sometimes. They can actually be legit, like, excuses. Like, for instance, I'm not in school, but let's say I was in school, or you were in school, right? And for whatever reason, a bad storm comes through, and the electric company shuts off your electricity, and you don't have a computer to work on. Oh my freaking goodness! In the library down the street, you can't do that either. And all your family members, you have no electricity. How, like, you couldn't do your paper? Like, that's a valid excuse. But guess what? There is always a way around that excuse, because guess what? If you had a generator, you could still do your paper. Like, there's always a way around it, right? Or honestly, you can go back to old school and write it. Like, there's always a way around an excuse. And we have to talk ourselves out of these excuses, or these reasons as to why we're not doing something, and start to look at them as like, okay, so this was my excuse this time. This is why I didn't get this done this time, but how can I make it so that this excuse or this situation doesn't happen again? Or if it does, there's a way around that, right? So it's looking at situations so that our short-term losses, right, or our instant gratification impulses don't sabotage the long-term vision. Because, another example, so let's say I get up at 5 a.m., it's really like 5:10, right? So I get up at 5:10 in the morning because I like to pack my lunch. I like to pack my lunch. Do I pack it every single day? No. Do I pack it 90% of the time? Absolutely yes, right? So I pack my lunch in the morning because I know that once 12 o'clock hits, or 1 o'clock hits, whenever I go to lunch at work, like, I don't really necessarily want what's in the cafeteria, right? They do have healthier options in there, but the healthier options they have, I'm not always crazy about. So by the time it hits 12 o'clock and I didn't pack my lunch, I know I didn't pack my lunch, I'm kind of bummed, like, great, I have to actually spend more money because I really don't want to, and I have to eat food that I'm really not that crazy about. Awesome. Whereas if I would have just got up at 5 a.m. or 5:10 a.m. like I do to make my lunch, there wouldn't have been that problem. So guys, like I said before, I don't want to wake up at 5:10. I really don't. I'd rather sleep longer. But there are things that I like to do in the morning. I like to write in my journal, I like to pray, and I like to make my lunch, right? And I like to eat breakfast. And I know that if I don't wake up, if I let my brain talk me into sleeping longer, those things won't happen. And later on in the day, I'll be like bummed about it. Not only that, longer in the long-term vision, like I stop making my, I don't make my lunch for work that day. Then like what happens to my long-term goal of wanting to have this energy, of wanting to maintain my physique, of wanting to have that clarity and abundance and energy? It gets sabotaged, right? So focus on the long-term win, guys. Long-term win every time. So guys, I can't really see how many people are on here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you guys, like, what is your long-term goal? Like, are you guys pretty consistent with your healthy habits, your lifestyle, your weight loss goals, staying, consistent with eating better? Like, do you guys have long-term goals? What are they? Because I know I got a lot of them. And I know those goals can seem big sometimes, but guess what, guys? Go for the goal. Go for the goal. But, anywho, that is what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. That is all. So, if you guys are in the Philadelphia area, I know that most of you probably aren't. I just started a meetup called Healthy Go-Getter Women, and I am in the process of creating the first event for that with Grey Dolphin and Northern Liberties. So, definitely sign up for that meetup group if you are in the Philadelphia area. I'd love to have you and actually see you in person. If not, we can still talk through Facebook Live or instant message me. Also, if you guys have any topics that you want to talk about, want more clarity on, or, just want to hear about, let me know. Drop it in the comments or shoot me a message, and I'd love to speak on that. So, I will see you guys tomorrow, since I'll be coming on live tomorrow. So, alright guys, you guys have an awesome night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.